data, producing evidence, discussing policy considerations which now seem relevant to the law. And in fact, one of the issues that comes into play in the litigation of the 1930s is is a kind of broader understanding of the nature of the minimum wage. Why, if you want to have minimum wage legislation, what is it you're trying to do? So, for example, the realm of minimum wages, there's a kind of effort to say that if you want to justify minimum wage, you might really want to ask, what is the fair value of the services the laborer is providing? Is there some way to measure, instead of just assuming a race at the bottom in terms of setting wage scales, particularly in times of unemployment, maybe there's some other way to calculate what is the fair value of the labor being imparted. It sounds a bit Lockean, I suppose, if you think about it. Or a different factor, which we'll see again is in a couple minutes, would be the kind of argument we see in Wickard versus Filbert. Let's think about the national effect. Let's think about the aggregated effect of the individual activity that we're trying to regulate. So it may not just be a matter of imagining or idealizing one worker, one employer, coming up with some formal notion of what the relationship between them ought to be. What we really have to do is think about the consequences. And the argument here being made, in effect, is that judges don't, lack the requisite capacity to assess those consequences, to assess the new social science, to think in the sphere of legal realism in the way that legislators are going to do it. Doesn't mean legislators always get it right. They're free to make their mistakes, but that's democracy. And then that's why you have elections. If they screw up, you vote for the other party and try something else. Okay. So